Hello Blender folks, welcome and welcome back. This is epistemic-gnomes and this time we are back into this episode or this attempt of making this multi-inverse kinematics rig for the leg work along with advanced foot rig, and at the same time being able to make all those transforms and this kind of the leverage. And finally I was able to do something that works. So the real challenge was to be able to get the two I-key systems, the one from the mechanical bones behind, here you see these bones, the mechanism chain, match with the individual I-key, at least when we can, at least as we move here. And this is happening, this combination is happening now because I was able to get the foot rig, the advanced foot rig, match with the mechanism chain at the same time that the deformed chain here will match with the foot. So basically the foot can be divided into mechanism rig and deform rig, sort of. And then there is a splitting that must be rejoined. And so what this allows me to do finally, I should really make a tutorial, probably it can be improved, but what is great about this is that I've even found ways to leverage the rig with the transform pivot point. And so this is quite a complete or successful rig. I haven't been able to do this for some time already. And one problem that I was having is that on one hand there would be trembling of the leverage system, but now it is working. Then I was having also, yes, I remember, sorry, I was having a limitation in the leverage. The system was only making this leverage for the mechanism chain as is expected, and the deform rig, of course, it can't have it the same way unless I made a mechanism for itself. And I actually was able to do sort of a leverage system, except not that it would rotate exactly the same way that this leverage does. But so this is actually relatively simple. So what I did was I picked the 3D cursor. Here I'm splitting the chains, right? And then this allows for F-key posing of the shin bone. As you see, I can rotate the foot, but this foot here could be rotated with, no, not this bone, but probably, no, not even that, because this, okay, so I'm not sure now, but what happens is the following, folks. I was able to make the this part of the rig push that bone up like this, and you see there is leverage here, like we would see on a F key, on a Nike chain like this one, with two chain length, the shin bone and the thigh bone, and this allows this sort of leverage here. Hold on, better to use the, yeah, need to be switching that. This control bone here, it would do the bending here with the mechanism bone, so on the advanced foot rig, and it also leverages the whole shin bone. The problem with this splitting is that this is an Nike target for the deform rig, so it's a control rig but it's a parallel one, and so this the shin bone, deformed shin bone, it has got this Nike target, which is this bone, instead of something in the advanced foot rig which leads to ultimately the master leg bone, which is the dual Nike, right? The double chain, right? Like chain length of 2, I mean, right? With the mechanism thing here. But this other chain, this other system, it's a chain length of 1 for this and chain length of 1 of this, except that this is the master, the control, the Nike target for this Nike bone constraint, and this is the Nike target for this bone constraint. And the one limitation of that is that because it's just a chain of 1, we can't push that up. Actually, I'm just being able to do this because I found out a way to leverage the system. So if I took this bone constraint limit distance, it must be very precise. If I took this off, you see that I cannot in any way push nor drag, but especially I cannot push this bone, this master bone, so I cannot leverage the shin bone because of this, nor the foot. The foot doesn't, you see, there's no reaction. Even if I pin this thing here, it doesn't leverage because this bone is rigid, but I can repose. But then this is not very dynamic, right? Oh, I have to do this, then I need to do this. Not very interesting, right? So this was a limitation that I had some time ago because I attempted some ways, but it was very delicate and I didn't have an advanced foot rig. Maybe it's not required. What I found out is that I can make some degree of leverage if I get some limit distance outside, targeting of course this bone, but then this limit distance, what it does, it is this distance currently, and because it is outside and there's this distance, see if augment, yeah, let's not change this, it's too critical the way it's made. So as I give some 3D cursor like in the tip of the foot, toe, or tip of the foot, then I can, you see, I can leverage from there. I could leverage from there, but there wouldn't be the rotation, right? Here, this would be another system. I would need to implement this system like to work here independently. Maybe it's possible. This would be a next attempt experimentally, but at least I can. So what I can do is that I can have this some degree of leverage. I can pivot around, and what I cannot do, but you see, I can still use I can still make joint pinning. That means in this case for the leg rig I can do knee pinning, right? I just cannot push the foot upwards, otherwise it will leverage, of course. So, but it is joint pinning. So this would be a knife F key switch. And then of course there is this extension, this stretching, but this is not that problematic, right? It's okay for me. The most important thing for knee pinning, joint pinning on the Nike chains on a system that has more than one keychain like this one, what we want is joint pinning. So now and this other system with just one keychain allows this. Of course, this rig could be more organized. I mean, I believe it would be optimal if it is possible to have a different keychain instead of placing the bounds constraints on directly on the deform rig, right? I could make a parallel rig for this double thing. Maybe it would be easier to solve a lot of things, but currently so finally I was able to make this thing work. Then for this kind of thing here, which is not very comfortable, but it's okay, like we can pose this foot in without much concern about this gain or slight gain or loss of, and we see if the leg is changing. So we can just, as we find a new pose, right, we can just go back. Like for example, I want to put the foot here, okay, then I can check what was the extent, right? So then I just have to take it back. I cannot reset its position, but probably if I could find, I don't know, let's see, maybe if I could like, yes, the foot is moving. If I want to target some bone here on, but apparently I cannot do it. Selection, cursor to active, no, it goes there. Cursor to selected, no, it keeps there. So this, yeah, also won't work. I need a mapping bone perhaps to here, just to do this, unless I have another. Yeah, I don't have any bone that would do this currently, so I cannot make this precise thing. You see, but another a possible solution for that would be just to, if I switch the clamp region, can I? Yeah, I could drive that. It's kind of strange, but yeah, I could drive this thing like on surface. Then what we'll do is that well, no, this is not good. No, not good. This is always pushing now and dragging as if it was sort of no. So I cannot use on surface. Maybe inside it will keep. Okay, maybe. Yeah, so not sure about this. So let's keep outside. And yeah, so the leverage system works. So I can do this kind of crazy thing. Something here I've messed up probably. Oh, okay. Alright, there are some positions where it would fail, but in this case I just of course this would be a strange thing to animate, right? So what's happening is that of course the positioning of this bone starts to to be okay. So it would be impossible, right, to FK pose this thing unless we needed to stretch the leg. So this system is working incredibly, and so it was the conclusion, many positive conclusions. So first one, yes, it is possible to make for the multi-dimensional keychains rig, it is possible to implement advanced foot rig, but the advanced foot rig it's only working for it relates to the double I key chain, so I mean the chain length of 2. So this rig, the simple rig, as usual, as expected. And perhaps, now this is a question, perhaps I could create a leverage system like that for the double system, right? Of the chain length of 1 for this 2. So this bone would have this system would, but this could be complicated because there's already a lot of dependencies here related to this, but in principle none of these things are bone constraint or parent to this part of the rig. It's more like the opposite. So there's a copy transforms to the master. So this means like basically in this case at least what I needed to do is to start to separate the two rigs in the foot, right? From the splitting occurs precisely on the deformed bone of the foot, because currently, as you can see, this foot bone is not parented to the shin, so it stops there. If I did something like now, it would go crazy probably. So the parenting is towards this sort of mechanism I key foot for the conventional, this one, right? So I key, actually no, this is not the I key target, so this name is actually wrong. So it's no more the I key, it's just a closed parent offset for the deformed bone, and from this dual structure here, the deformed bone and its parent, the deformed bone for the foot can warp because of the offset parenting, and it's still free, the deformed bone will still be free from bone constraints from this. It will involve its bone constraint to the other system, this one. So it's the splitting. So you see, it's have a copy transforms to this thing, and however the parenting goes to this thing, and this bone has the conventional parenting to actually, yes, it's parented to the mechanism toes roll. This is a conventional advanced foot rig, and you see that there I have this map foot I key, which is actually a warp bone. That's what I call map. It's in the rest position for the armature. It is located here, so it reproduces the same in terms of length and in terms of angle, trigonometry, right? This same structure here, even though I don't see the foot there, the mesh, the distance I've calculated from those joints and this system. So it's as if the foot was there, although the height of the whole contraption here could be up and down, whatever, we move all them together, because then you see there's the leg starts here, but if I just change the whole thing, I must unfortunately it cannot be grouped, it needs to be moved all together in this case. So I can move it down, I can, yeah, so then I can recreate the pose, right? The rest pose, not the rest position, the rest pose because for the mesh, because the rest position for the mesh in this case is this one. So there are different ways to make this warping, but I had to make the split of the what controls the foot, the deform foot rig. Well, on one hand, the advanced foot rig for the conventional IKE, and on another hand it would be the splitting made by bone constraints directly affecting the foot rig, and then the foot rig drags with it the toe, the deformed toes, okay, because they're parent connected. And then yes, this rig is the control rig there for the is still relatively functional if I split for but it's not entirely functional, so I can I can make some rolls here, but it won't respond very well. I can but this also won't respond properly, although it would make the rotations there, but it's not. I think it would. I don't see the yes, it makes the I think it makes the foot rotate, the toes rotate. I just do not see it clearly. Yes, it does, but it's not precise. So however, because of the system that I've implemented there, and because now there is leverage on this structure, which I cannot explain here exactly how I achieved that. Hold on. This bone is parented to what? I'll have to check there. To map foot IKE, okay. So it's parent to the, for some reason that, oh, of course, because that map foot IKE, it will allow it to yes, because of this parent offset in that place, because the deformation foot, which is parent to something that is bone constrained to that, so higher hierarchy, the deaf foot bone will be affected by this and by this, and because this will never disconnect, well, it will disconnect from that place. However, yes, how is this leverage happening right now? You see they are, as they touch, the deformed bone touches the tail here. Yes, there's something I've done that I don't clearly remember right now, but it is there. One thing that is, yes, I think it's this parenting, because this allows actually for the chain here and here to stay together on the IKE as we pose this bone. Otherwise they would split already from this motion here, but because this is parented, the one that allows for joint pinning, because this is parented to this bone, which is exactly at the ankle joint of here, right, the ankle joint there, this joint, which is the same as, not the same, but it's equivalent to this joint, then it will map, hold on, it will map, yeah, so then the chains stay together. So there's the two chain lengths of one for the shin and thigh bones. They will stay together with this the mechanism chain, which has the conventional chain length of 2. And then by keeping this thing unsplitted, it's that parenting. Maybe I could have parented it differently, but the advantage of parenting there is that it is a bone which has the same orientation and the same start position, so it's a true mapper, and it is also not in the it's higher than the deformed bone, so it won't create some crazy thing. So this splits, then of course I can split the chains now. You see, at least that one is splitting from that one, but still not the other one until I decide to push it, then split both. But then we can still have the rig functional, but then it is not that interesting. We lose some functionalities there because, and I don't have here. Of course I can still reset this and then reset this. This one is simple to reset because yeah, but yeah, this one. So yes, it's not perfect, of course, but you see what happens to the hand rig. If I go on the hand rig, which has a similar system, but it doesn't have an advanced foot rig, right? There's no leverage system here. Also, the character eventually, you see, there's a split already. This splits the chains, and moving this, yes, the chains seems to be splitting, aren't they? Maybe not. Well, yeah, maybe it's an impression. I cannot see very well because of this of course will split, and this of course should split, so I was wrong. But let's say if I just demonstrated, so I don't need to preserve anything here. No, they are okay. So actually what the trouble that I was having here, one of the multiple problems I was having here, is that the chain here, yes, they were splitting wrongly because the foot rig or the control foot rig they didn't match very well, and all was related to how I was parenting or placing this bone. And that's so for example, let's say I cannot guarantee this will make any sense, but alright, so I was having a hard time, if I believe properly, one of my problems, I was trying to make these things match at the ankle joint, and for some reason, some complications that I was dealing with, lots of complications on this, I wasn't knowing how to solve it. Then the parenting to, okay, so was the solution. Okay, let me load here. So what can we do from this? A tutorial, yes, I could make a tutorial on how to make this kind of rig. There are two things that I would like to investigate though further. One of them is to recreate, oh, there are three things, sorry. Let me create a list of things here real quick. So it's this is more experimental. It's not like something, oh, I need to do that. Well, some are actually important, but so for example, three things, right? So one of them is the simplifying advanced foot rig, because of the leverage. The only thing, you see, the 3D cursor, transfer pivot point to the 3D cursor will work for both rigs independently of this independently of this bone, which is okay, it's very cool, it does that. But if we should just use the transform 3D cursor transform pivot point and the rig is properly, we can do this pivoting from the, and we economize bones. And then we can also make pivoting from the side with this system, you see. So it's very simple, and from the ankle, from everywhere actually. And so there is no I see no reason to maintain this yeah, I cannot pivot this because this already established a new pivoting point. So it's cool to have this, but it's not actually required. And so I can, okay, so you see it's pivoting. The lateral ones, for some reason they are failing. I'm not sure why. Maybe they are partially working. Maybe there's something I need to revise about this particular rig. I don't know what is the culprit here, why this thing, it's probably not what I did there. So it will rotate on y-axis. It's leveraging on the side. No, it was just a global thing. It's not apparently working. Maybe yes, I'm curious about this. Maybe it's the distance here, not sure. It should be a simple thing, but sometimes this is difficult to achieve. Yeah, hold on, rotate on local. It's not leveraging from the sides. It's like is as if they were not being able to touch the ground. These bones are not marking some ground position, and yeah, this is theoretical, like, oh, I'm not able to do this, why I need to do it. Well, so all those pivoting are kind of I don't say irrelevant, they can be good, but you see they add a lot of more features that are not really required. So here, see, I'm not hold on, let's pick this bone, let's reset everything, and then here pivot, maybe global here instead, pivot on the Y, pivot. Oh, it is actually different, right? The pivoting that this does seems to be slightly different. Yeah, it pivots the foot only, while this will pivot the entire leg, right? So this is no. Oh, no, I was wrong. So all right, anyway, so in principle I believe it's not necessary to have the roles, yes, these ones, and the control for this. Okay, this is fine, but not the pivoting ones. The pivoting one, oh, well, this is a pivoting, no, this is a role. So I think keeping the roles, it's good, but these things, I think, because it's actually good to have this simplification, and we can use these different pivoting, and most importantly, this will work either for this rig, the dual I key or the, I don't know how to say, double I key or dual I key, the I key chain length of 2, and for the I key chain length of 1, I mean the two systems, it will work for the foot either being here, you see that works, and it leverages, and then I can do also this thing. So whenever, yeah, I can pivot from the side here, so you see there's no need to, but yeah, all respect to this development, but I think this is excessive. It's all, maybe there are some, the cool thing is that it's easy to just, you don't have to make switchings and all that. It's not compromising the rig, right? So, but it's adding lots of structures that, wow, we look at all that. So my idea here is this simplification. So let's get it simplifies. So keep only 3 roles. Okay, the roles we know it's the ankle. No, it's the foot roll in the back. So basically, hold on. Okay, it's the foot roll on the back. Then the toes roll and the heel roll, which is okay. This is this will control both there. And this one, which is a tip roll, is would not be required. Oh, and we keep also the control, and also these ones, but these ones are, let's say, before, right? Usually we just require one of these, something that would be the mechanism foot I key, but I key target. But this, because there is this warping thing, I have made to make the work clean, the rig cleaner, right? However, it is true that the I key target, it's currently this one. It could be this one, because anyways the foot goes after. I mean, yes, the foot goes after. It's lower in hierarchy when it is affected by this, that is affected by this. So this could still remain the I key target. I think this wouldn't do any issues to the rig. They are just complementary bones. So let's just make it real. So foot mechanism foot I key left. So I cannot guarantee if everything will work properly after I do this, but we'll check. So apparently here everything is fine. Yes, no big problem happening. So as expected, this is working. Then if I decide to make here, you see everything is functioning apparently as expected. So okay, let's make that bone hit there. I'm intriguing about this possibility. So that will just be something like here, then add some bone here, which will be some map map ankle, yeah, map ankle left, the ankle joint, right? So then let's yeah, this bone could be a strange bone, whatever. Its orientation, not sure now, but maybe I would like it pointing downwards, but I don't have any bone doing that. So let's just have it in the same direction here. Yeah, okay. And now it's a bit too, I think this bone should be flat. something like that. Let's see. Okay, then it's not symmetrized, so let's symmetrize, and then of course it needs some sort of parenting, right? So let's just give a not offset parent to this structure will disconnect. So actually maybe this should go yeah, I should bring it there instead. So let's put it here. So Shift S, cursor to selected. Then yes, let's just align with this, and now its head is there. So the problem in, well, the selection, the 3D cursor will always select its head, I think, on pose mode, so that's fine. So now I parent this to the deform, yes, to the deform, so it will always be on the foot indeed. And so there we go, it's a mapper bone. So let's see that. Okay, then whatever, if I do something crazy like that, then I pick the mapper bone, you see that it will go to the, okay, this is I don't know why it's, okay, but it's the head of the bone, right? Indeed. And then we just, let's see if this works. Okay, it replaced. So that's a mapper bone for so that we can do at everything, and just then kind of annoying, but whatever, it works, right? So I like this mechanism better than yes, with certain pros and cons, but then if I could have an instant matching, it would be better, like, but I don't think there's any bone constraint that can help in this sense, right? I have to be changing the, it's more sort of an applying thing, right? Like as if it was the reset position for it. And you know, this is actually interesting. What if I, now this is probably wrong, right? I cannot currently, I was thinking about having it connected currently. What is its bone constraint? No, it doesn't have a bone constraint, so I certainly, if I lock its, well, I could make, I don't know, I think this is dangerous, but maybe if I could get some limit distance here, it already, no, this one doesn't have limit distance, the other have, but now it starts to go crazy, right? Map ankle, not crazy, but you see the, it's responding badly to this, so this inside on surface is bad, outside really not interesting. I don't know how to, yeah, this is Dendrol's bone constraint to use. Often it won't work very well. Inside, let's try again. I can still push it outside of the target, so this is not like really working. Oh, I see there's some limit there, so not terrible. This distance should be like, but the posing is really bizarre. it doesn't really want to. Yeah, it responds very strange. I dislike this. Maybe this requires too much processing power, and there's nothing. And if you do this, already some things go crazy. So no, not using this. But the mapping bone is a cool addition. So another thing that should be okay, simplified advanced rig. Okay, keep only the 3 roles plus control tools. Then this is hypothetical. Advanced foot rig. This is for the role systems, right? Regarding the deform chain. For roles. Yes, the roles. The role leverage system for deaf foot, whatever, deaf system. Okay, so this is the splitted to. Okay, I will understand that, whatever. And then third thing, yes, there would be even another that I don't remember, but there is of course need to fix the pole targets. This is actually the most important topic here. So this is this I need to solve right now. And if there would be another thing, mapping. Well, I've just made some mapping here. All right, so let's see now what we can do next yes, let's go for the pole target. Okay, so first thing, I'm concerned about this thing because next time what I figured out with this thing regarding the controlling the automation of the pole target, it was very cool for a dual chain. However, this would neutralize this pin joint pinning, because then as I would move this, something there would make this bone moves and then stretch differently, and then it will ruin as the knee will be moving as we pose here. This won't actually work. So currently I think it could work, but of course yes, this might work right now actually, because reposing this bone is not on pose mode, is not affecting the stretching of this, because fortunately, although it carries the deform rig, and so the foot, therefore it doesn't carry the bone which is this is stretching too. So if it was stretching to the that gave me a new idea. Yes, okay, so if I had like 2 stretchers here, then I will be able to automate with the similar system the different pole targets that I will require. The reason why I needed more than one, there are 3 key chains here. This, and of course, sorry, this. I mean this, and this. Well, this one. So this one is the one which should benefit from this, because here, as I pose this bone, hold on, I can immediately get this thing to work. So currently the pole target is here. This location I'm not sure if it's the ideal. So what I need to do here is just oh, I think I've mapped this from, perhaps not. Well, so just parent offset here, and then we'll see that as I pose here, yes, the location is wrong. So we see already from how the we already see this by how the location here is displaced, and the knee is very badly rotated. So this could be some IT settings also that I need to, but it's probably the automation here. This is bad, the rest position. So for solving this, let me just make some, let's add some bone here. I'll align this with, so with that, then I will rotate on normal negative 90, no, 90. Then I will scale this thing, and then apparently here, what about this? Not sure this will be enough. I leave this for now, maybe I need to reuse it. So apparently this didn't help much. Actually all of them are using the same control target, so this is not a good idea. Of course, if I delete it, it'll be just too bad. So instead, let me make some, okay, so this will be the big one, and then I'll have to make some, okay, so this is the smaller ones. Okay, so here yeah, so 3 pole targets, but pole 1. Okay, so this we're gonna change some stuff there, maybe just for the arm rig. I already had 3 pole targets, and I was starting to find at that point I didn't know about this technique, so I've just learned and tried to explore, but then didn't finish the work. So okay, pole here, just change this to, you know what, I could very much simplify this with, okay, so first let's change them to assign as control bones, and of course they about viewport display and custom shapes, they could really go like something like that. And okay, let's leave it like this for now. This is enough for the first differentiation. This could be the for the thigh, and this for the shin. And the idea of knee is actually probably some old thing. Actually, this is the whole leg. That means that is the whole for the double, right? At least for me it makes sense, right? So, but of course it's not very. So I'll start changing this probably will get a bit bad in the beginning, but then we can solve that. Shin pole target, all right. Shin pole target. Okay, so now I think I'm gonna make a different version here. So leverage backs. No, this will be poles. Okay, then I have a file where, well, these parentings, they cannot be sustained. If I'm not wrong, well, I leave it this for now. I'm going to leave this as it is now. Okay, in principle the idea is that this one should stay up. There's a invisible wall, we must imagine, in front of the thigh bone, and this Oh, this new concept, yeah. Okay, I know now. Because these are chain length of 1, you see this makes imagine an invisible plane here, right? All along a plane here. Along this, imagine this as an axis and a plane crossing like vertically here, and then spreading all the ways like this. And this wall would be an invisible wall in front of both limbs here. Actually, it should stay always in front of these, the orientation of this mechanism chain bones here. So that's why this mimics this invisible wall plane, which stays somewhere like here, right? And then the pole target, of course it depends of the pole angle and whatever, but the ideal is that this pole target never crosses this wall behind. So of course this depends on the orientation of these things. Maybe these are wrong, I'll have to check. In principle I have already set those things, so shouldn't be wrong, but of course it might be possible that I need to reassess the pole angle here. Here also this position is maybe not the best one, so let's try to do something here. It becomes more complicated because the rest position is different. So because this bone is parented, it has to travel in the warping, and then on this warp sometimes we don't see the trajectory. We have just to imagine that in principle it should be a good trajectory. Actually the trajectory shouldn't influence the output, but it doesn't. It makes it more abstract, and that's why here I have a hard time seeing why it is as we see here, it would need to go more to that direction, right? So this means that maybe instead of, let's use some what to do here, let's move it on normal, but from here, z-axis, just to keep organized. Then okay, so it's all displaced, right? So it's like it's rotated, right? So as I push it on z-axis, it goes up, up, up. So it's not z-axis here which matters, is actually something like up and down, right? So x-axis will bring it to apparently, but I'm afraid it needs to be, no. Yes, so then we still, of course, maybe it's just the pole angle that will never work that way. So let's reduce, maybe it needs to be 90 degrees, right? Okay, so yeah, let's see, it's not perfect, but at least it should be fine, right? We see that the thigh seems distorted, rotated, but this is because of the other pole targets that are here. So if they are right, okay, their pole angles might be wrong too, so have to address this individually. Currently, of course, then we need the mechanism, automation mechanism for each of them, and the mechanism, so it might not be exactly the same. So the idea that I have here would be that if I could have oh, this bone doesn't have, it just stretches, right? But what it is parented to? Okay, so this is interesting. I haven't considered it in this case, but I need to remember some aspects here. This bone has a stretch too, but it doesn't have a sort of a... Yeah, it doesn't have sort of alignment to whatever, to the leg. And this, I might have a solution for that on a previous rig, but this would be some time ago. I'll have to investigate. This is very important, so let's see how I solve this. Let's go leverage, see this experimental key. It might be something. Yeah, we'll never find it exactly what I wanted, because maybe I didn't save. Should be on some backup, maybe the best way. So here, what kind of system is that? Okay, this is already leverage. Okay, so this is no I key of 2. No, there's an I key of 2. Alright, so this is another different way of making the warping system, but doesn't matter here what this I was looking for. We see that I need the mechanism. We don't see the mechanism for the... So it looks this is before any automation, or I've got rid of that maybe. Alright, so never mind. So this is not leverage 3 back, so fix another refrigeration. Maybe it's even... This should be a very pivot mechanism. Look, some pole thing anywhere. No, this is already too old. So mechanism chain, better pivots, fixing pole targets. I know I had something like this spine. Bendy bone, mix back, arm, BB, nice function, pivot, inverse, change cursor, pivot, advance. Oh, I think I'm getting close to moving on back 5. Okay, let's check this one. Yes, maybe it's something like that. So let's see. Alright, where is the mechanism? I think I didn't have that mechanism rig here yet. Oh, I have. So what? No, it is not. This is just chain, IK chain. So moving on 5 backup. No, so let's number 35. Leverage, destroy keys, pole target tutorial. Oh yes. Auto pole target new. Alright, so let's see where's the armature here, and then let's check the mechanism here. Does it has... Okay, the stretch too. What about the parenting? Mechanism hips? No, this won't help. And what I will see here is that as I move this, yes, just, well, this works, but it's not exactly... Maybe this is good enough, but that I'm very aware of the role of this bone here. Let's make some quick tests here. Now I'm seeing its role. You see, the ideal is that if it was able to roll more like this on occasions, But for this to happen, because the pole target is for this I key is is parented to offset to this bone, this will make that if this bone has some role, automation role, it can actually as it is stretched, and if it follows the leg orientation, the mesh in some way, there are ways to make this, then it can even make the pole target, redirect the pole target sideways in a better way. And so I'm looking a setup where there is another bone constraint here. So this is 39, so I believe I have made it. So let's see, 39, hand mesh, solving waves, order fingers. At some point I go back to the hip joint. Okay, let's try something. Let's see what is stretch 2 and parenting. Strangely, I never get it rotating. If it doesn't have that system, it will never get this automation properly. Let's see, maybe it's something more recent. It looks too recent to me. Maybe I had it and I just ended up deleting, and it looks like lost, right? Well, never mind. So let's sorry about that. Then I could perhaps, this was the perfect thing. Maybe I just need to, or it, if I remember, it was a good thing to have. So I don't bother about the left side. It needs symmetry. So hold on, let me check some chats here. Oh, someone posted here. Hold on, the chat was not appearing. Maybe it's too late. Hold on. I'm not very good at English, but I know what you're teaching. I love it. I saw your video and it popped up, so I came to see it. It's very good for beginner like me. Oh yes, it is for didactical purposes indeed. I'll find time to look back in the missing part for me. Oh yes. So yes, thanks for commenting. Sorry that I got it late. Maybe okay, let this I should have the chat visible, but Windows is not helping me. It doesn't get the chat on top. I'll always need to. Anyway, so let's see if I can get this poll thing done right. Let's see. Yes, but before all, I wanted to check if if this automation works. All right, so this is fine. You see here, this is where and rotation of the foot, of course, don't work. So we can sure manually pose it, right? So it's not, but it works, but it's not a perfect automation like we would like to have ideally. So the idea here is to, but it's still very good as an automation, just not good enough. And I believe there would be a few problems if we made some automations here. So the problem is to what it would be a copy rotations only. So for example, I could give it a copy rotation to here, but before on the y-axis only, local space and local space. So now whenever these okay, there's it doesn't work because it creates some thing like that. Therefore we can't do this. This is why yes, this is why I was looking for a different alternative reference. At some point, yeah, I remember. I know what I'll do. There is I have a live stream many episodes before where I was attempting exactly this. The solution might be there. Yes. The problem is that it may cause also some imperfections. Alright, I'll make another attempt here with the foot. Note that this bone doesn't control the, but maybe this could be because of some inverse kinematic. No, there's some things here I need to revise. Alright. Okay, so this is a bit puzzling without the proper reference, so let's see I'll just make a note for myself on the here, so like both targets, check episode 4 to the mechanism stretching bone, whatever. I know what that is. All right, so this is what happened. This kept open and I forgot to re-add this this part. So yeah, last attempt or not. I cannot use this to rotate along these rows. It will create, but maybe this one, because this is another chain. Okay, so let's try copy rotation. Now this makes it goes crazy apparently. Where is the, oh, of course, naturally to go crazy because I just want the y and local nope, where it goes. Of course this needs to go before the stretch too. Okay, but and also goes crazy, so we cannot use this thing. Is that, oh, it's not a problem of spaces, it's, well, actually maybe this. Dump track. All right. Okay, so maybe this is affecting. No, it's not, nothing related to this apparently. So let's take this off. Let's try to use this as the aligner. So dump track before, and the way to align this dump track there would be which axis? The Z axis, track axis Z, and something okay, it's all bizarre right now. Let's see. Influence, no. Head, no. Middle, no, doesn't. Track axis, certainly, yeah, if it goes there it will do bad things. Negative Z, no. X, no way. So no way. So I'm not going to achieve this in this presentation. Let's try to solve the other interaction, because this is what I'm curious about. So let's delete this thing for now, or no, let's leave it. This is not a bad idea to keep it for this process. So this poll target is solved. The question is, can I use for the other poll target this one like the same position of this? This is a question that I have. Maybe it can be actually maybe I could reuse this one, at least this one. So yes, this could be problematic because of certain aspects, because the chains are not totally equivalent. The only way to be sure would be to make many poses in which we would verify in principle it wouldn't work 100%, because there are certain positions of this poll target that if they got too close to certain threshold in 3D space in relation to the leg, it would still work for the general key, but it might fail for the type. So this cannot go below the type as a poll target. However, in some circumstance maybe it should go. Like if I have to move this, yeah, so you see it start to get dangerously low. This wouldn't affect the other rig, I believe. So let's not do this. So I'll keep this one as the poll target, but it will be a minor poll target that ideally I wouldn't like to have to change. So what I can do about it is have it follow this one, like I can sort of give it a but just give it a okay, so why it goes so far away? Oh, I need the parent. Okay, so parent of set. So much pink low. Oh yes, there's the background is maybe if I had the ambience, maybe it's yeah, the floor. It's a bit better now. Hello there, just saw the chat. Okay, so now as I go on pause mode, it should go here. Yes. So you see the problem, this cannot go below the thigh. It must always stay above. It's an invisible wall along the thigh. Too many bones showing, right? Let's try to fix this with selection sets. I think I have already something for the legs. Yes, I have, but I need to add a few more bones here. So these ones and probably these ones. And do I have anything else there? Yes, there are some stuff here. Let's add hold on, let's see. Yes, let's add this, remove this one and assign. Let's just hide this. Okay, this is what I'm working for. What are you trying to achieve here? Okay, so good question. Basically I have many problems, right? It's an experimental rig, but in principle I have a dual, I'm calling it multi-dimensional IK rig for the legs, in which I can have, you see, the conventional IK chain, like with two chain length of 2, but at the same time without a system of, how to say, F key, I key switching. I can individually make a pose with the foot bone, which sort of, that will be knee pinning, right? You see the knee stays in place and I can make some pose. Yes, there are some issues with that, but in principle I have this knee pinning and this is F key, right? It will be, but at the same time I can still move the original chain, or for example I can either move it from this one, and this is a system I was investigating and the problems emerged gradually, so I was trying to solve them. I've tried 2 different systems for this kind of double, multi-dimensional IK or joint pinning, whatever. With in this case there is this IK chain, of course it's a different chain of bones, mechanism chain here, but the deformed bones which you see here in red, they have each of them an IK bone constraint of chain length of 1. They could have been made with mechanism bones as well to make it more organized, but yeah, maybe I could do that in the future. And then I'm being able to make this thing, and then I was trying to successfully, to some extent, I was attempting to make some advanced foot rig work with this thing. So for example, you see there is some advanced foot rig there. Hold on, with the, where's the control rig? It looks like it disappeared. No, it's here. Okay, so you have the control rig there, and there is this, okay, the leverage system here that we are used to in advanced foot rigs. And of course I was trying to see if all those and those pivoting, and I was trying to see if this whole system comported this kind of advanced foot rig. So yes, indeed it does, but partially. So when but as soon as I take the foot off here, I lose some of the functionalities of the advanced foot rig, which doesn't follow. They kinda they don't work like very well until I get this back. So this is a limitation. So I was thinking, what if I make another advanced foot rig for this this part only, for the deform rig, right? And so yes, this is another idea, and I can simplify this advanced foot rig because many things here, like these pivoting points here and side pivoting, we can achieve this with in 3D animation with 3D cursor pivoting, even from here. So for example, if I pick here, I can let me get a better example. I can still pivot the foot from those things, right? So same if the foot is here, so I can pick this and pivot the foot without even using side bending, you see, without even using some of the advanced foot rig here, which were in principle made for instant pivoting, right? So I can simplify this thing. Okay, so sorry, let's see. Is the foot bone supposed to be not connected to the legs? Yes. Thanks. Yeah, so this is experimental, so I've been trying to figure this out. Rigify add-on, of course, generated rig, it probably has something like that, but I didn't explore exactly. What I know it does certainly is FKI key switching. But I'm not really savvy with this I-key F-key switch. I know several features that try to solve that in different ways. I don't use this, at least not now. And so I'm trying to find different solutions for this, right? And this would be one, a proponent. So yes, you're right, the foot bone supposed to not be connected to the leg, and it is not connected, because the problem, as soon as I connect it to the leg, so see here it is not parented to neither the the shin mechanism bone for one of the I-key systems, nor for the deaf shin bone. So instead it is parented to a what would be the conventional mechanism foot I-key, right, the foot I-key target, but for the for the simple conventional chain length of 2 on the shin bone, right, as we do on human rigs normally. And yes, I was doing a mistake there for a long time until I've realized that as I kept the bone, the foot deformed bone, where it is here, connected there, it start to make this leverage system to shake like an earthquake, until I've realized that that I'm doing this wrong. But now, strangely, I've not been able to reproduce this this thing anymore for some reason. So even if I connected this like in the worst possible way, maybe this will break everything, I'm not sure, the leverage still works without that trembling. So probably that trembling was happening for any other reason that might be related to this connection, but okay, and at some point something should break here, because it's not possible that that this should fail, because this was not supposed to happen. I just disrupted the rig. I'm not sure what should break apart. Oh yes, of course, what breaks apart is the, no, okay, so this is bizarre. I don't know what, well, let me go back here before the parenting. Okay, so it's parented to that bone, so that this bone, which is parented offset to this foot mechanism toes roll, like advanced foot rig stuff, then it mimics this setting here, this angle, this joint, these positions. They kind of mimic this thing. This was calculated with a lot of stuff here. So the deformed bone here of the foot, no, this is not this one, it's this one, and that one, that other tiny one, they get warped to that spot on pose mode immediately. And yeah, that's too many things here. I need to simplify this. Hold on. All right. But then what happens, this is the most important thing, is that for this to work, is that this bone carries the foot mesh around, while this carries the advanced foot rig around. So as the foot bone has got the parenting towards this system, it has a copy transform bone constraint to the other system, which is this one, which by the way is the master IK target of this IK chain, control ankle, this one, control ankle, and this is the master IK target of this one. And so we can kind of make this kind of F key independently, but it doesn't has this this stays apart, but then we can still at least with the big one we can still have some use of the whole thing, right? And this stretching, maybe it can be avoided, but it's not the worst thing, but it's a bit annoying if we ever, but the whole idea is more like, oh, I have dual IK like norm, but I can still have this conventional thing. So I believe it is possible to have the, so this parenting there of the foot bone, yeah, why not? Maybe it didn't broke the rig actually, so curious. Okay, let's see back. What are it? Okay, is a football could, well, probably due to the wave paints. The wave painting, you mean for the deforms, for the stretching here? I lost that. Oh, now got to go looking for how this will go. Okay, thank you for watching. See you next time. Take care. All right, let's go back here. So I need to, yes, so I was on the problematic of the pole targets, right? So this must stay above the thigh. So what kind of orientation would that be? This is confusing because, okay, z-axis, local z-axis, right? So maybe as we pick this z-axis, maybe I should put it to go The problem is that this z-axis is related to world space. They are aligned to world space. This means that they match local z-axis with world z-axis, which means that if I on edit mode I push this bone as I did now, in here it would go up too. Well, it went somewhat diagonal, so yeah, not ideal, but not compromising yet, but oh, it has some, okay. So maybe this parenting is not a good idea. Maybe there's a better idea, and I think the other solution that I used to do was to parent this bone to here. And so, yes, parent offset, keep offset, and then it will always stay on top of this bone. Actually, no, it's not on top of this bone. Hold on. Although here it looks like, would that be that? No. Oh, of course, it has a dumped track thing, so poor idea. Let's try to change this, like, yeah, this, maybe that's better. Not sure if that's better, but yeah, that's what I want. That's what I wanted. So now, yeah, this is rotating. This is not good. The parenting is not because of the rotation here. I need to prevent these rotations. This bone, if it rotates, I think it's fine, but not its pole targets. So what I could, oh, it has a dump track. Yes, the dump track is mechanism nipple. Okay, so that makes sense, whatever, although it would be more like this one, right? This is not a very important bone constraint, but I think the copy rotation is critical. So don't we have a Z up here? This is a bit of annoying, so let's reset this. Yeah, it's Z-axis, it's roll there, it's, if I could get, oh, of course, so maybe this orientation shouldn't be that one. So let's match it with 99. What about now? Yeah, this is more likely. And so now, yes, this positioning is bad. What would that be? Let's align this the same way. Okay. Now you see it start to go up. So let's do it. Let's put it here. But it still does this bad rotation. Bad? Well, no. Now it's looking okay. But I need to be sure if. What about this? Still looks okay. It's going a bit too. Yeah, cannot go below the thigh. Below would be here. So the invisible wall, it's nearly on the invisible wall with that posing. So because as far as it goes there, this distance, I believe, starts to get less relevant. So yeah, it needs to be even further here, something like that. So where is the no? Well, it's, we see the invisible wall, right? So that's fine. And yeah, I have this rotation, but this is not, the front of the type is important. The idea is that I would never have to even pose that bone, because it would be automated, the pole target. So okay, so this kind of works for, but aren't they disputing these automations? It might be that they are disputing, so this could be a bit crazy, right? This moves everything, right? What's the parenting of this bone? All right, mechanism chain. It doesn't seem compromising though, so it looks natural. Have to make more investigations here. And now finally the other one. The other one is a bit more complicated, I think. And so it is, where it is, that here. So instead of here, let's align with the that bone, right? So let's see. Now what can I do with that bone? I need to remember. Usually it could go parented to that one too, except that on a different like if that one in a different starting rest position. So it would be something like if they started like from this distance, this needs to be in an invisible wall, but below, but here. The problem is, what would that, is that enough? Is that even correct? So we're gonna make tests. So where is the, okay, so it's here. No, it's behind, and being behind, it is correct for probably some wrong and adjustment things right here. All right, so let's see, the pole angle there is completely wrong. So this bone was supposed to be here, and as it is posed here, I cannot see the type, hold on, the shin. Yeah, it's too hard to see now, too many bones. I need to alright, so it needs to do all this rotation in order to be right. Okay, so let's put it here and then adjust this pole angle, right? So let's start first, too many bones there, right? So let's use the selection set. Then let's get this bone to change the pole angle. For this one it's 0, for this one 0 is not working. Oh, this was the wrong one. Okay, it's this one which matters. No, I was doing it right. So requires less. So negative, no, this is positive. So 90 will be 90. Okay, so this is 0, this is 90, and this is 92. Okay, for the sheen, but this is, yeah, whatever. Now let's see. Okay, its starting position is wrong, so this, but it needs to be here, and then it's right. So at least one thing is correct. So this being it put it here makes it wrong. So let's get it back here. It certainly cannot have this parenting and the same rest position. Let's see now where it is. Oh, now it's front, but it's too far away. Let's see if it does the automation in the proper ways. Yes, there's an invisible wall here. It's getting mostly correct. Let's see if we can get this thing. Now it's starting to fail as I get here. Yeah, it's still above the thigh, but it's very easy to, yeah, in this rotation. So maybe, but otherwise it's working smoothly. So all the three are kind of, so I'm just concerned about this one, and so this means that it is too close. Let's see. Let's see, too close. Let's try to get it too close to the, yeah, something like that. So let's try to bring it maybe like that. No, doesn't help. What about y-axis moving forward? Nope, still. Oh, I need to reset it. All right. Okay, so now it looks like it's, let's go back. Okay, so something like here makes it goes, yeah, never mind, this is not good. Then if I go more to the side, what happens? Okay, then it gets sideways, nothing to do here. Here it stays. Okay, so this is not the orientation that I need to be playing with. Maybe it could be something like that, or just like here, right in front of. That's just looks fine. Okay, it's a good alignment. The problem here that I'm not being able to have this automation is because of this leg, is because, not that I don't have automation, but the leg is not rotating exactly the way I want. This because I need an additional feature here, which I need to remember which one. Alright, so let's see. But the other, okay, so it's still in front of the type. As we approach here, it's here where I start to have some, not problem yet, but this is pretty dangerous because this pole target's almost crossing the wall. So okay, so it's not the, it's x-axis, will it be its y-axis? No, the y-axis seems to be up and down of the shin, so let's try to, yeah, okay, so it's z-axis. I think it's up, right? Yeah, that what will be the most natural thing. And so this means that now this shin bone is where it is. Hold on, what bone? It should be that one, but it's behaving strange, right? It's going sideways. Let's reset. It got a bit displaced, like maybe I positioned it wrongly. Maybe needs to be, oh, this is okay, so I think I've got an idea here. As I moved it up a little, it needs also to have some adjustments on the Y. No? Not helping, no. So no, not that. Then the X. Also not the other direction. No, certainly not this. Then just the Z. What if it was... No. So this is very puzzling, but I'm... Why this is going where? Front. All right. Why it is so hard to have this bone more to the X, more closed. Yeah, it's just too bizarre, but I cannot really, it's like it's resisting to go. This is why it would be nice to have a... Oh, the Z. Okay. So the Z... Okay, finally, so... The Z actually affects its orientation here. Then this means that it should be dy, right? But then as soon as I start to work with that, you see that it's not nearly enough to have... Of course, this may because the movement of this bone, right? So perhaps if I could just give it this Z, it could be... No, this is too bad. This is too bad. Okay, so yes, it's because of the parenting here, because this bone keeps moving. So as it keeps moving, we don't really get exactly... This is why this posing is dangerous, but now it's okay, it's controllable. So finally, one thing less to care about. This is sort of an automation that is working for the three poll targets. Very annoying indeed to have three poll targets, but in most cases these are easier to solve because they are like, they don't need something like this system to work, although they could have. I had this idea that perhaps, but if this is already solving them and it's kind of neat, looks good, then I just need now to solve, let's fix that thing, right? Hold on, let's bring that thing. I have check this, no, okay, so this is another thing that I've just done. So poll tires check selection. Okay, so there's to multi-dimensional WikiRig. Alright, so this is just one thing, nothing related to this, but not the same thing. So we solved that, resolved that in a more elegant way, and I could make this test here, but this is where I would really require to check the other tutorial. So I cannot fix that part one, this thing, but I could try to solve simplifying this and backup. So, and then this both things should be simple. But since this live is already a bit too long right now, I think I will just give it a pause and then come back a little later to continue in this thing. So then we can try to bring up this information, and then we'll try to solve all these things in a single row. So that's what we've done here, was at least fixing the poll targets back to the foot rig. And also, hold on, let me actually get some symmetrization here. And yes, this not the case for everything here, but that. Now this is for the arm rig, nothing to do with the leg rig. And yes, we get this, we get this. Probably these are not necessary to symmetrize. This should be it. Oh, this one too. Okay, symmetrize. Let's delete this for now. Let's see now. It's okay. It looks like it's symmetrized. What happened to this? No, they have wrong names. Control type, control. No. So why didn't they? Did I forget? There they go. Okay. So left, right, right, left. Okay, and this one also. Let's symmetrize here. Left, right. Okay. So you see now the gizmos. You understand why they are this way. It's not great gizmos actually, but for now that's what I've got. At least they show some orientation. So all right, see ya soon, and happy blending. Take care, folks, and thanks for watching.